So for part A, we want an equation that links log to the base 6 of t and log to the base 6 of x. So if we start from this, let's think about the fact that we've got a straight line. So what we've got going on here is a straight line, and we know that we would normally write our straight line in the form y equals mx plus c. So that's kind of the format that we want to get this in. In this case, my y is log to the base 6 of t. And my x is log to the base 6 of x plus c. So my equation is going to look like that. Now we've got two things that we can tell from here. Firstly, we can look at the gradient. So if I take the gradient, which is my m, my gradient is going to be equal to the 4 over 2, and we've got a negative gradient, so that's going to be equal to minus 2. And we know that my intercept is equal to 4. So that gives me an equation of log to the base 6 of t equals minus 2 log to the base 6 of x plus 4. So that's part 1. That's what I needed for part 1. For part 2, it wants me to find the exact value of t when x equals 216. So I've got log to the base 6 of t equals minus 2 log to the base 6 of 216 and plus 4. That gives me 216 to the is going to give me minus 6, because 216 is 6 to the power 3. So that gives me minus 2. Let's just write that step down. 6 cubed plus 4, which gives me minus 6 plus 4, which is equal to minus 2. So that's what we needed for part 2. And actually, that's not the final answer. That's just what we have for log to the base 6 of t. So that means 6 to the minus 2 is what t equals, which means that t is equal to 1 over 36. So always going back and making sure we've actually answered the question. For part B, we're going to use our equation to find an equation that doesn't involve logs, that sorts out both of those. So for part B, let's look at log to the base 6 of t equals 4 minus 2 log to the base 6 of x. So that means that 6 to the power of 4 minus 2 log to the base 6 of x is equal to t. Now let's use our laws of logarithms to think about how we can split this out. So this gives me 6 to the power 4 times by 6 to the power of log to the base 6 of x to the minus 2. So I can use that law of logarithms to make sure that I'm adding the powers there. This log to the base 6 of x to the minus 2, the 6 to the log to the base 6 is just going to leave with the x to the minus 2. So I've got 6 to the power 4 times by x to the minus 2. So therefore we've got t equal to 6 to the power 4 over x squared, which means that t equals 1296 over x squared. So we've now got an equation that doesn't involve logs that links t with x squared.